Day 15, part 2. Day is done. The offer is pretty much complete. I've run the, I would say, closest to final draft version past my mum for the residential offer because she's our ideal client customer avatar. She fits that profile. And I've run the commercial offer past my dad. After running it past my dad, I might run it past one more of my family members who owns a bunch of businesses and just run it past him.
This is The Sales Game with Josh McKay, helping solar business owners sell more, make more, and work less.
These guys are probably a little bit more analytical than the customer profile I'm looking for, but they'll provide some valuable insight from that perspective. So if I can soften or improve the feeling of just having everything being looked after and being quite sorted to handle the analytical sort of aspect of dealing with businesses, then I think I can get all business customers. So I have tried to account for that when I'm dealing with businesses. I'm thinking businesses are looking at return on investments and putting money in and what they're going to get back, and because they're doing that within their own business, right? So they're a little bit more aware and alert, attuned to those things. So it'll be good to have a couple of people with those minds look at it as well. I also had a big long conversation with my old business partner Shane from Sungain Solar about the offer that I've created for residential, and one of the things that I'm looking at doing is having super simple T's and C's, but he said the idea that most people don't really care about T's and C's because they don't really have to read through it, they're not forced to read through it, and T's and C's can be very good for clearing up any ambiguity to know what happens if something happens. I said my guarantees are designed to do that, but I don't know that the super simple T's and C's really provides that much value to a lot of customers. So as long as they're still good, it'll be confident when we're going through it as a salesperson, when we're going through the T's and C's, it's just nice to not have to worry about any bullshit in there. So probably that's where I'm trying to come from. Maybe it's more value to the salesperson to know that the T's and C's are really simple. What did I do today? So I finalized that offer. A lot of time spent as well. A lot of what I was writing was we will do this and we do this and we offer this, instead of you will get this. This is what we'll do for you. I did a lot of this is what we'll do for you, but I really wanted to make sure when I was going through that guarantee that I'm showing the customer what value we provide to them in terminology that when they're reading it, they're thinking, wow, I get this and this. Like, you will have the best quality components and the most skilled installers in the industry working on your roof. Sort of those sorts of terminology, it feels a little bit more powerful. And these are some little tips and tricks I think I've learned really from a lot of the books that I read, but definitely from $100 Million Leads, just about, and even this predictable revenue book that I'm reading at the moment. People don't really care what you do as a business. They don't care if you do, we do these big systems, or we provide these services, or whatever. They only care how you can help them. Rather than listing what you do, specify specifically what they get out of it, what's in it for them. And then they'll start, I'll give you $5,000 and get $25,000 back over 20 years. Awesome, for example, something like that. I am also, I did the first pay run, Jerry. We did it through PayPal. PayPal's fees are pretty high at 4.5%. It's pretty ridiculous. So we're going to try and get Wise set up. That's a payment vendor. There was some issues on Jerry's end, so he's going to try and clear that up with Wise so we can get less fees. Also, we're going to do stickers for all of the inverters that we put on, and then if we do hot water systems or anything, we'll put the stickers on them. They're going to need to be some special type of sun resistant sticker if we're going to put them on like hot water systems and stuff. And if the inverters are in the sun, ideally we're not going to be installing inverters in the sun. They'll have covers but still weatherproof. Another really cool sort of idea, a new thing that's changed the direction slightly of where I'm going to be getting leads from initially. So initially I was going to use like an Indian call center who was going to cold call leads in WA. I used to use them. Shane and I started our business Sungain using these leads exclusively. There are a certain type of customer. You can imagine someone getting cold called. First of all, they have a landline. That's typically the data that they had was landline based. They are okay with, or they go through the process of having an Indian cold caller call them and hard sell them into an appointment, and then have a salesperson come through and sell them a certain style of customer. I have put business owner that I know in South Australia onto him, and he's had okay results. He's got 5 sales out of 30 leads. 2 of the sales fell through on finance eligibility, so he got 3 sales. He spent $2,500. The value of the leads was $2,700, and he made around 12 to 15 grand. So it's not bad, but it's also not great because there is a lot of time spent driving to these appointments, and also he had a few cancels and no-shows, so there's a bit of time spent. I put the request in to get leads from this business and put the criteria that I wanted, basically between 50 and 70. I want $300 bills plus. I want no more than 12 panels existing, so existing solar systems. I don't want more than 12 panels. If they do have more than 12 panels, then I want $500 bills. And his response was the WA market's a little bit tough. We have to be a little bit flexible about it. And I was like, oh. So it's just, I'm like, oh, that's not really confidence inspiring. I don't want lower quality leads than that. Especially he's charging a little bit more now than what we used to. He used to charge $30, $35 for a lead. He's now charging $90 a lead plus $100 per sale. And it doesn't sound like the quality's improved. I'm a little bit hesitant, to be honest, based on that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to learn Facebook leads. Shane and I, in our last business, we put some ads out. We didn't really do a lot of mucking around with it. We just basically put a photo of us on the roof and said, hey, if you're interested in solar, let us know, and ran ads in more regional towns. And we got good results from them. Also, what we'd do is we'd speak to the person, present them, if we sign them up, and then we'd go and knock on a few doors and say, hey, old mate down the road is getting solar, username. We're going to be in the area doing an install. Would you like to get a quote? Something like that. So I'll be doing leads like that, which is really cool because I'm super excited to learn that. So instead of spending $2,700 on leads, but I'm not kind of sure what I'm going to get, I'm going to spend the $2,700 testing Facebook. And I don't think I have to spend that much to start getting results as well, based on my previous experience. Also, bearing in mind, Facebook has spent like literally billions of dollars trying to make their marketing, their ad programs as effective and easy to use as possible, because they want us to put money into it, right? So if we can get sales from what we're doing, then we'll keep putting money into it and we'll fund. So they're invested in us getting a result from their advertising. So there's a bit of confidence there. Also, with all the books that I've been reading about getting inside the sort of customer's head and how to present an offer and provide value and lead magnets and all that, I have quite a lot of ideas to test. Also, there's another book that I'll probably read as I'm doing this, Scorecard Marketing by Daniel Presley. Is an Australian, he runs an Australian lead agency, about giving people surveys so they can find out more information about themselves. I'm going to test a few of these ideas and have a bit of a play with it. I'm going to do regional areas a little bit further outside of Perth, so we can target an area and not have to spend too much money and not have to worry too much about trying to get a specific thing, because already regional customers are a little bit better to deal with. There's a little bit less competition for them. Yeah, those are the things that have happened. Oh, on that note, Shane's brother owns a roofing company, and he said one of the most powerful things he uses, he gets all of his business and he's booked out for months from his business, is Facebook ads. And he puts these little signs up on people's little call flute signs in the front yard, say roof done by. And he was talking, what happens is while you're doing the job, you put this sign up, and then people come out and inquire, and then especially if you get some others, and then you see a couple of signs. And he drove down this street where nearly 50% of the street had these signs in front of him. He'd done nearly all the jobs in the court. It was very cool. And it's pretty cheap sort of advertising. And you just put it in the front of people's yard and you don't have to offer anything. And they leave it. If they take it out, no worries. But most people take it out because they go, oh, look, I've just done this to my house, sort of thing. Especially if it's a good experience, they'll be happy to show it, and they'll be happy for you to show it. So I'm going to be doing that as well as the stickers, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about that. Much more excited than I was to start attending these cold leads. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I am, I suppose, not surprised that I didn't get to work on the CRM because I wanted to do that, but tomorrow. And I really will be able to do it tomorrow because the offer is almost completely done. I think all I need now is just one last sort of look over it from my mum, and then I just, as I'm developing the actual presentation of the offer, I'll probably have to condense some of it. But for now, that's enough for marketing teams to submit to the commercial lead suppliers to give them some sort of materials to use. They can use whatever they want that think will be effective. And yeah, it's all coming along really nicely though, and it's super amazing to have Jerry on board. He's provided so much value, and yeah, it's really cool. I think it's really important to find people that you enjoy working with and that have interests in areas where you're not. Maybe like for myself, I do making content, but I like the design, but I don't like the actual part of actually doing it. I think like I enjoy it a little bit, but Jerry loves it. Like he loves it, and he's really good at it, and it shows. And just developing the content and building pages and in the social media and generating website content and content creation plans and stuff, like he actually. So this is cool if I'm going to go down this path. Not if, now that I'm going down this path, we'll be able to work together into getting some really good content out there. And then yeah, at some stage probably get someone in to edit videos and such. Hopefully in my next video I will have figured out how to hook up the audio equipment so that the audio quality can come through a lot nicer as well. That's all for today. Tonight, tomorrow, I'll share with you what I'm going to do and keep you posted along this journey. Till then.